right? Does that have anyone reconsidering Inoue's chances against Bam? I've brought this up. Malik has brought this up. Inoue, Bam is not a very long fighter. He's compact.
Yes.
And Vargas was able to reach him partly just with the length of his arms, right? He's a taller guy. Does that make you think differently? Because Inoue is coming with bazookas.
Right.
It's kind of 50-50.
You know why I did is because I don't trust that Air Muff's defense against the monster. I really, really don't. It makes me ask questions because he could probably.
And you could hear because you could hear that through the earmuffs.
Yes.
You could hear that sound through the earmuffs.
I'm going with Bam.
Yeah.
Going with Bam.
Bro, Bam to me is like Jalen Brunson mixed with Saquon Barkley, home.
I can't.
Ooh, that's a good one. He kind of is.
Yo, he got power with both hands. He can move.
Monster
got footwork.
Monster.
And he has a great trainer, Robert Garcia.
But Monster footwork ain't like Bam.
No, Bam's is better.
Way better.
Yeah.
And another
Monster's
thing is,
a little heavier-handed, I think.
Yeah, I'm scared.
I'm thinking about how you.
That's why I'm scared of
when
that.
you talk,
One man brings artistry, the other brings devastation. Max Kellerman just sounded the alarm on a matchup that could redefine boxing's pound-for-pound conversation, and the warning signs are impossible to ignore.
What do you think? Like, I have to admit, I was kind of split on Bam versus the Monster early on. Maybe the Monster's length gives him a little advantage, and then in recent fights, I thought Bam is too young and fresh, southpaw boxer, the whole thing. And after watching Vargas tag Bam, I'm like,
I changed a little bit.
That threat becomes clearer as Max Kellerman points to Inoue's dangerous weapons and the challenge they create for Bam. Max believes the young southpaw has the tools to compete, but those advantages mean little if Inoue's pressure prevents him from using them.
Bam, to me, is the real deal, a complete fighter. I'm a sucker for southpaws, but especially southpaws with speed and technique and punching power and the attitude that he wants to apply all those gifts and acquired skills to hurt the other guy. I think Bam is going to look great, as he always.
Still, Tim Bradley sees a serious problem, warning that Bam's recent performance would not survive against Inoue. The champion's precision, timing, and power can punish every defensive mistake. If Bam gives Inoue the same openings, Tim believes the fight could end brutally fast.
That small little minor adjustment to where, again, he slowed things down. Slowed it down. Started punching in between shots. Started catching shots and you know, slipping and rolling underneath shots. You know, once he slowed it down, it was easy for him. You know, but against Inoue, if this type of performance, if Bam brought this type of performance to an Inoue fight, it wouldn't go past 6 rounds.
That danger becomes clearer as Tim warns that Inoue can exploit Bam's defensive habits. Rodriguez's movement creates angles, but it could also open gaps against a champion who tracks him so well. Every escape could lead Bam into another dangerous attack.
You know, Bam is the type of guy that likes to sit in front of you, and then he gets on the sides and gets on the angles. Inoue got a left hook, he got a right hand, he can turn with you, right? Either way. He can turn with you. Inoue can box off the back foot. You know, Inoue can press going forward. Inoue has straight punches. One of the coldest 1-2s in the game. Coldest 1-2s in the game. 1-2-1. All the shots that Bam was getting caught with. And supposedly.
On the other hand, Andre Ward highlights what makes Bam so difficult to deal with. He describes Rodriguez as a violent jazz player, using unpredictable angles, footwork, and rhythm to create openings before adding his power. That creativity gives Bam a style capable of disrupting even a dangerous champion.
Bam Rodriguez is one of the best fighters in the world. You know, you can play around with that pound for pound list, and he's right there in that mix. And Bam is he's like a violent jazz player. You know, the movements and the setup that he does with his feet, right? He's a feet-first fighter. He loves to get you on the angle, kind of spook you, have you looking for him, and all of a sudden, boom, the accurate shots come through, and then he'll start to add power as the fight goes on. Just poetry and motion, but very violent at the same time. Don't know if you got a chance to see that.
But Roy Jones Jr. identifies the biggest unknown, focusing on whether Bam can absorb Inoue's cleanest punches. He believes that question could ultimately determine how the entire matchup unfolds, because Bam's technical advantages only matter if he can remain composed under heavy fire. If Rodriguez withstands Inoue's power, Jones sees enough skill and ability for Bam to compete. If not, the danger becomes immediate.
Can you take Inoue's punch? Because 9 times out of 10, Inoue gonna hit you once or twice. Because you like to say, Like you say, he does get touched a lot. So he gonna get touched. Can you take that? Because if you can take that, then you can beat him. But if you can't take that, then that's the question. So the big thing is, if he can take Inoue's punch, I think he beats Inoue. But if he can't take that punch, Inoue will KO him.
Great.
That makes the battle for positioning crucial, as Andre Ward explains that Inoue attacks directly, while Bam is most effective when creating angles from the sides. Whoever controls that directional battle can dictate the pace, distance, and flow of the exchanges. If Inoue cuts off Bam's lateral movement and takes away those escape routes, Rodriguez could be forced into a completely different fight than the one his style is built to create.
He's very, very explosive. And for me, Naoya Inoue, he will go laterally, but he's not as skillful as Bam Rodriguez laterally. So in other words, Bam wants to get you on the angle. Bam Rodriguez is at his best when he can get to your left side or get to your right side, have you look for him, and then he meets you with a punch. He's elite when he does that. He's very good when he's in front of you. Naoya Inoue is a north and south guy. He's gonna have a starting point and he's gonna explode straight at you. And most of the guys he fights, they don't have the reactive skill and the ability to get out of the way of those punches. And
that same movement can become a problem because Tim believes Bam's footwork could actually work against him if Inoue successfully cuts off his escape routes. Instead of allowing Rodriguez to reset and attack from new angles, Inoue can use positioning to close those exits. That could force Bam directly into damaging counters.
He gonna get toe up. He gonna get toe up. See, when you fight Bam, I don't know if you guys noticed, straight punches affect him, 1. 2, he tucks up into that high guard. Yeah, he move on those little angles and stuff. I get it. He's over here, he's over here, he's over here. You ain't gonna be able to do that shit with Inoue. You not. Especially when you trying to reach for that outside, you not gonna be able to do that. Inoue is gonna make you pay for it with a right hand or a left hook. He gonna bring you right back in front of him, right? And when you get...
Yet Bam has his own hidden weapon, as Sergio Mora explains that his power comes more from technique than brute force. His relaxed rhythm, sharp timing, and ability to punch through targets make his attacks difficult to anticipate. That unpredictability allows Rodriguez to generate serious damage without giving opponents an obvious warning, creating dangerous openings even against an elite champion like Inoue.
He was just shadow boxing. He was really literally punching through his opponent and not punching at the target. That's what makes Bam a hard puncher. You know, there's guys that aim at a target and then there's guys that pass that target. And that's what Mike Tyson would say, that he got to punch through opponents. That's what makes power punchers, you know, it's a gift that not many have. And then you add the angles, add the accuracy, man. Add how he turns his punches. That's another thing. Bam always is turning his punches. He doesn't slap his punch.
Even so, Tim sees another vulnerability, arguing that Bam's struggles against straight punches could become a major issue against Inoue. The Japanese champion has the timing, accuracy, and power to immediately punish any opening in Rodriguez's defense. If Bam leaves himself exposed even briefly, one clean connection could shift the momentum and put him in serious danger.
That ain't gonna work. Inoue can box from the outside too and allow Bam to come to him. Come on and rush all them punches you like to throw and try to get in position. I'm gonna make you pay because I'm faster than you. I'm stronger than you. I got more power than you. Yeah, and you gonna walk into something. And I don't know if y'all noticed, but Bam, he gets hit with straight shots like I told you, but he's been down with straight punch. Right hand, straight right hand. Yes, he's been down. And Inoue got one of the coldest right hands. He got everything he needs to beat Bam Rodriguez, and he's bigger too. So a lot of y'all...
That power is not accidental, as Sergio Mora points to Bam's precision, rotation, and elite footwork as the foundation behind his punching force. Rodriguez generates his damage through timing and mechanics, rather than relying purely on natural size or brute strength. That technical efficiency could become vital against the physically stronger Inoue, especially if Bam needs to make every clean connection count.
Watch him in slow motion. You never see cuffing punches. You never see cupping punches or slaps. They're always turned with the technique and the elbow behind it. I mean, that it's a little bit of everything. It's not brute mass strength that he has. It's not one punch power. It's technique. Kind of like Arguello. If you ever watch Arguello, you know, he was a tall, lean guy, but he turned every shot. Everything was like perfect behind technique. And Arguello knocked people's lights out because he was heavy-handed. That's what I mean by turning your knuckles, turning your punch, and really getting that power behind it. Bam has it all with elite footwork. We're watching greatness, man. I hope everyone appreciates what we're watching.
Still, Malik Scott sees a physical disadvantage, warning that Bam's lack of natural length could give Inoue an important edge. That difference could make it harder for Rodriguez to establish his preferred range and keep the champion at the end of his shots. Against someone who excels at closing distance and finding openings, Bam may have to work much harder to create the space needed for his offense.
Everything, Max. You and Mike, y'all both said parallel things about just all his attributes. But one thing, if there's anything that make me question, not actually Bam technical sound skills or his spirit, is his limbs, Max. He's not like a long guy. Yeah. And when I think about him going against the monster, the only thing that gives me doubt of him fighting the monster is he's not a long southpaw. His punches don't come from a long distance. I'm a sucker for southpaws too, Max, but I'm sucker for southpaws that's a bit tall, that's a bit, a little bit more longer than Bam Rodriguez. But besides that, which is a God-given thing, he has all the attributes of a complete fighter. He is a complete fighter and definitely top 3 pound for pound and is well deserved.
Meanwhile, Mike Coppinger gives Bam a narrow advantage because he sees the younger champion carrying freshness and momentum into the matchup. After following Inoue through years of elite competition, Mike believes Rodriguez's upward trajectory could become meaningful if the fight turns into a prolonged physical and tactical battle.
I just simply lean towards Bam slightly just because of the youth and he's ascending still. I just think that's a big, major factor here. And, the monster's been in a lot of really tough fights, against Donaire, the first fight, broken orbital bone, and the fight with Nakatani, I was just at, that was a tough fight too. So I think we have to give the edge to somebody ever so slightly. It has to be Bam. He's a lot younger, he's a lot fresher.
But Mike immediately brings the danger back into focus, noting that Inoue's finishing ability remains a massive threat even when opponents manage to resist his pressure. Bam may survive difficult exchanges and defend well for long stretches, but one mistimed move can suddenly change everything. Against a puncher like Inoue, even a brief defensive breakdown can create the opening for an explosive finish.
Yeah, Max, I think that plays a big part. And what always impresses me about the monster is even against guys like Paul Butler, who are not there to win, who are in a complete shell, he still finds a way to finish them. And that's a real impressive trait. Not a lot of fighters can do that, right? So I do think that plays a part, Max. But Bam has quietly faced some solid competition. Fernando Martinez looked damn good in a couple of fights over in Japan.
You're right.
And, Kazuto Ioka, 2 fights. So I do like Bam, and I think Bam has a real killer instinct, like I said earlier.
That concern grows as Radio Raheem points to a legitimate weakness he believes has emerged in Rodriguez's recent performances. As Bam faces stronger opposition and continues moving through divisions, Raheem warns that future opponents will study those moments and build their strategies around them. Against Inoue, even a small weakness can become a major target.
Punches in the combinations that Bam Rodriguez was taking was, I believe, the first valid chink in his armor that I've seen. I was like, uh-oh. Because you keep climbing, you keep challenging champions, you keep pushing yourself, which is what you're supposed to do. Guys are going to start figuring shit out. You're going to run into guys that come with the right game plan. This guy's got the right game plan. The next guy might have enough power, but the wrong game plan. The next guy might not be fast enough to get those combinations off, but know what he should be throwing. But each guy is gonna build on what the last guy did right and try to fix what the last guy did wrong.
Because of that, Raheem insists Bam cannot afford to spend too much time studying Inoue early in the fight. He believes Rodriguez must impose himself immediately, disrupt the champion's rhythm, and make Inoue react instead of settling into his preferred style. Any hesitation could give Inoue control of the tempo, allowing him to establish his timing and pressure before Bam has a chance to build his own offense.
I believe he's going into the fight knowing. So you say he's got to figure Bam out in the first 3-4 rounds and maybe lose those rounds. I think if he goes in there with that mindset, he's finished. I think he's got to go in there with no respect. He's got to go in there and force Inoue to prove that at that age, he's still the guy that can do something that is going to make Bam change his strategy. Bam's got to go in there and do Bam things. and force Inoue to make him do other things. Don't go in there trying to figure out what Inoue is going to do and then download information and all that shit. No, he's going to beat you that way.
Adding another perspective, Steven Navarro draws on his own experience, explaining how high-level sparring can accelerate a fighter's confidence, timing, and development. His time around Bam gives him a closer look at the skills Rodriguez brings into elite-level competition and the intensity required to sharpen them. That first-hand experience strengthens the belief that Bam has developed the composure, technique, and confidence needed to handle a challenge as dangerous as Inoue.
Yeah. It was dope. You know, iron sharpens iron, and I believe we were both sharpening each other up. And it just, you know, it was a huge confidence boost for me, honestly. And there was times when my dad had to get me off my high horse, you know, but it was just a matter of like, it showed me what level I'm on. And, you know, who I'm able to get in the ring with is just amazing. Yeah, it was a surreal experience. I take my hat off. I want to thank him for that experience always. When I see him, it's all respect, love.
At the same time, Sean Zittle sees patience as a key weapon, believing Bam will slow the opening pace and carefully study Inoue before committing to his offense. That patience could help Rodriguez read the champion's patterns, timing, and reactions without taking unnecessary risks. Once Bam identifies those tendencies, he can begin choosing the right moments to attack, with greater accuracy and confidence.
But his real calling card is his talent, his speed, power combination, and reflexes, foot speed, that kind of thing. I think Bam can figure him out. I think Bam, who again got touched against Vargas pretty often, I don't think he starts nearly as fast against Inoue as he did against Vargas. I think he fights a lot more patient fight. By the way, peep the Knicks shirt. But I think he fights a lot more patiently early on. I think he fights those early rounds more defensive-minded than he did against Antonio Vargas, and a lot more patient, and I don't think he concerns himself with really winning those early rounds.
From there, Sean sees a specific route to success, arguing Bam can disrupt Inoue's combinations by attacking in the brief gaps between his punches. That approach could prevent the champion from settling into his usual rhythm and force him to reset constantly. Instead of allowing Inoue's reflexes and timing to dictate every exchange, Rodriguez could make him react, create openings, and fight at a pace that favors Bam's speed and precision.
But I think that Bam will punch in between Inoue's punches and figure him out. And Inoue, what I mean by his speed, power, his talent, his reflexes are his calling card on top of everything else, but that's his that's his secret sauce. And he has that over Bam. That's what got him out of jail against Nakatani. Many times in that fight against Nakatani, he left his chin out there and he got away with it. He found his reflexes got him out of there.
And Sean goes even further, confidently predicting that Bam will pull off the upset within the next year. His belief comes from seeing Rodriguez's timing, confidence, and development align at the right moment as he continues stepping toward elite opposition. With Inoue representing the biggest challenge of his career, Sean sees Bam's speed, disciplined movement, and precise counters as the tools that could disrupt the champion's rhythm.
Going either way, I'll make this pick. A lot of fights where I'm like, I can see it going either way, but ultimately, if I had to edge it one way, no, I'm saying this with conviction. You can take it to the bank. I'll give you the Joe Willie Namath guarantee right now. If they fight next year or so, in the next 12 months or so, Bam Rodriguez will pull off the upset and he will beat Naoya Inoue.
Ultimately, this matchup comes down to one terrifying question. Can Bam Rodriguez's creativity survive Naoya Inoue's bazookas? Bam has the angles, speed, footwork, and technical precision to create problems, but Inoue has the accuracy and finishing power to punish every mistake. If Bam controls the distance and forces Inoue to react, the upset is there, but if Inoue cuts off those exits, the fight could turn explosive in an instant.